It's so fucking weird because the more attention I get, the more I want to run into a closet and hide. The more attention I get, the more I want to just like dissolve, kind of. That's probably a better term. I just want to dissolve. Like, I don't want to be bothered. I want to be left alone. And for some reason, the more I try to isolate myself and the more I try to be left alone, the more people are in my fucking face. Like, literally, I cannot describe how aggravating it is when you just want to be alone. And I mean genuinely be alone, not like, oh, I want to be alone, but then you hear that. No, I mean like, you really want to be alone and people just keep, and it's funny because some of my videos went viral. And for some reason, every time they go viral, it makes me not want to post. I don't know what that's about. Like, I don't know the psychology of that. But every time, and it's not just the videos, it's when people see me, recognize me, notice me. Every time people see me, recognize me, notice me, it makes me want to disappear in every sense. But when no one's watching, when the views are low, when I'm not getting attention, that's when I really feel like free. And that's when I feel like I can experiment. That's when I feel like I can do what I want. Now I do what I want. That's when I feel like I can really do what I want. But every time like a video goes viral or, I'm getting a lot of attention, I feel this, I guess, criticism. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's just hyper criticism of like the opinions of others, whether it's good or bad. Because I don't get much negative feedback, which is, cool, I guess. But even though it's positive, it's still the attention. There's a principle. It's not psychology. I don't know if it's chemistry, I don't know, whatever, atoms. But when atoms are being observed, they change. So the observation of atoms changes the anatomy of it. Atoms, just particles. Particles being observed changes how they behave. So I guess I'm really talking about just human nature, but I'm aware that I change under observation, and a part of my journey is learning to not change under that observation. Somebody, like, for instance, like, somebody could walk past that you find attractive, and now like you're tense and you're nervous. I don't care. No, I care, but like, I don't care. I care for a split second, and I say, okay, this doesn't matter. Let me bring my attention back to myself, But it's that observation that changes your behavior. Because you could go from just relaxing, chilling, minding your business, to all of a sudden like, oh my God, they're so attractive. And you nervous and all that, and it's like, for no reason, But I find that the more attention I get, the more I don't want it. The more attention I receive, the more I don't want it. And it's crazy, because as a child, all I wanted was attention. Like most children, like most people, all people want is attention. But when you get the attention, you learn how much you can really withstand. And a lot of people do fold under pressure. A lot of people can perform at great levels until they're being observed, and they buckle under the pressure. So I'm practicing on not buckling under the pressure, because whether it's one person watching me or a million people watching me, it's still me, and I'm still the same person. And you know, dealing with a bunch of projections too, it could be a lot. It's the same thing buckling under pressure, like dealing with all these different ideas of you and all these different identities people are placing on you, whether they're true or not. You know, having to have the strength and the wisdom to be able to decipher between who you are and who people say you are is not as easy as it may seem, especially if you suffer from insecurities, anxieties, fear, loneliness, all these things that make us want to behave in a way to get approval from others, you know. So if you have all of these issues going on, and then on top of that, you have 1 million, 2 million, 3, 5 million people watching you, projecting even more identities and issues onto you, or positive qualities that maybe you can't live up to. You know, we're only human at the end of the day. All of us are human. Even when I find myself projecting onto another individual, I have to tell myself they're a human. They're just like me. You know, and I'm using attractiveness as an example because I feel like that's the most easiest one to understand. But when you see really attractive people, you deify them, you know? You make them out to be this God-like figure, and you start to project these unrealistic expectations onto them. Expectations that you can't even hold for yourself. How dare you expect this human to do more than you yourself can? But a lot of us do that. Or when you see someone really talented, like an artist or a musician or an actor, actress, you start to project all of these God-like qualities onto them. And when they do regular human things that humans do, that you probably have done yourself, you judge them too. You condemn them to a level of just extremeness. And it's not fair. So you just have to remember everyone's human, including you, including the person you may hold so dearly and so close to you. One of my favorite lines in the Odyssey, Odysseus was talking to his son, and he said, "Don't look for God in man, you'll be disappointed." And I keep replaying that line in my head. Don't look for God in man, you'll be disappointed. And as someone who has always saw the good in everybody, it has been a hard switch to be like, oh no, you a raggedy bitch. But some bitches are raggedy. Some niggas ain't shit. Everybody God's child, but it's not my job to raise all of God's children. Everybody has their own path, you know. So even though I see the God in all man, even the evilest, most deplorable, despicable person, I could see God in. That doesn't mean I need to. So don't look for God in man, you'll be disappointed. I like that shit, man.